Let's be honest, depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain, but it's not just a chemical imbalance. It's a human response to living in a world that's chemically imbalanced, emotionally disconnected, and chronically overstimulated. Every week, I see patients who blame themselves for being tired, anxious, and numb, but it's not just you, it's the system. Lack of information is deadly. But when we have an overload of information online, how do you know which information to listen to and which information you actually need to know? I'm Dr. Goodwin, a board-certified family medicine physician, and the purpose of this channel is to give you the correct information that you need to know to help you live the best life that you possibly can with all of your health. People are dying because they don't understand how their brains actually work. They have been told that depression is weakness instead of biology and our environment colliding. If you've tried willpower, medications, therapy, supplements, and you still feel like something's missing, this is why. No one has ever taught you how to heal in a world that's built to keep you unwell. On my channel, I show you what most doctors won't: how to rebuild your mind, your body, and your daily culture around healing, not performance. This is healing depression naturally, but not the influencer version. No juice cleanses, no magical thinking, just neuroscience, compassion, and 7 gentle but powerful steps that can change how you live and how you feel. Because depression isn't the problem, it's the signal. And once you understand the signal, you can finally start to heal. Over the years, I've built what I call my 7-step ladder system. It's a framework that helps you lift depression by rebuilding every part of your life that modern society is quietly breaking down. It is designed to be gentle, but don't mistake gentle for weak. These are powerful steps that can retrain your brain chemistry, calm your nervous system, and rebuild your energy from the inside out. It works like a ladder. There are 7 sections of your life. Each section has daily simple actions that move you towards healing. On good days, you climb a step or 2 higher, and on bad days or tough days, you come back down a step or 2. And that's okay. Healing isn't linear. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. You don't have to fix everything at once. You just have to know where you are today and what the next gentle step looks like. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the first few steps in each section so that you can start right now. And if you want the complete system, every framework, every tool, all of the counseling that I've given my patients on depression in the office, it's all inside my Healing Depression video course. It's over 46 videos, over 6 hours of step-by-step guidance, and it is the equivalent of more than 25 office visits worth of counseling, all for less than the cost of a single doctor's appointment. This course has changed lives, and in some cases, it's saved them. My patients tell me over and over how finally understanding what's happening in their bodies and their minds has given them back hope and agency so they can understand how to make practical, simple changes that work right where you're at. The first of the 7 sections of our lives that we talk about together is gentle nourishment, because you cannot heal a starving brain. About 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. Most of it doesn't travel directly to your brain, but the gut's health controls how much serotonin your brain can make and use. When your gut is inflamed, underfed, or surviving on caffeine and sugar, your mood will quickly crash. When we are depressed, our body craves quick fixes. It wants sugar, carbohydrates, and fast food. That is not a weakness. Those cravings are survival biology. Your brain is begging for quick energy. The problem is that quick fuel spikes and then crashes your dopamine. You will feel better for a moment, and then you will feel worse than before. Real nourishment is steady fuel. The very first step on our very first ladder system is water. First thing in the morning, water before caffeine, water with every meal. Just drinking a simple glass of water several times a day can immediately clear the brain fog, give you an energy boost, and help you feel more awake and alert and think more clearly. The second step is protein first at breakfast. Most of us are used to just grabbing something quick, usually toast, some kind of bread, and just running out the door. But your body needs protein in order to build all of the hormones that you need to sustain your mood, your energy, and your life. Start with protein. Have protein for breakfast first thing in the morning. Step number 3 is simple, one-pot meals that you can make at home even on low energy days. We build a plan that doesn't involve you searching on Instacart or Uber Eats for fast food or quick meals. You want food that's simple, stable, and kind to your body and to your system. And we also talk about one of the most important things, food as joy. The act of feeding yourself is an act of healing. The truth is, your body isn't the enemy of your recovery. It's your teammate. So let's start by feeding it like one. Section number 2 is gentle movement. But in this section, I also talk about sunlight and spending time outside because nature is so incredibly important to healing. Movement and sunlight are 2 of the most powerful antidepressants that we have. And for mild to moderate depression, they work better than medication. Most people overlook them because we all know we need to exercise. But that's not really helpful advice when you're struggling to get out of bed. The very first step in our ladder system is just to stand outside in the sun. In the morning if you can, or whenever you get up, or whenever you have a chance. If you can't even get outside, just stand in front of a sunny window. Take some deep breaths, close your eyes, get some sunshine on your face. I promise you, it will make a world of difference for your mood. Movement doesn't heal because of calories or discipline. It heals because it literally changes your brain chemistry. Sunlight and movement both raise your serotonin and dopamine. These are the exact chemicals that depression suppresses. But exercise or gentle movement only works when it's joyful. If you force yourself to work out, force yourself to go to the gym, have guilt-driven routines that you feel like you must complete, you are going to make your depression worse because you are going to reinforce the idea that your body is failing. So start with something small. I highly recommend, and this is step number 2, is going outside and going for a walk. Drink that glass of water, grab your coffee mug, and just head around the block first thing in the morning if you can. Get some sunshine on your face, breathe some fresh air, and take a few moments to yourself. 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, lunch break, or after dinner with your whole family can make a world of difference for your mood. Step number 3 is probably my favorite step in this whole entire system, and that is to dance it out. Pick a song, your favorite, whatever you want, put it on 5 minutes and don't do any specific dance move. Just dance like crazy. Doesn't have to look good. Moving your body, expressing the emotions that you're feeling in your body will help you to release them. It will release serotonin and dopamine, and you will immediately feel better. This is how we rebuild the feedback loop between your body and your brain. You move a little, your brain wakes up. And slowly, you're going to start feeling alive again. Because movement isn't a punishment, it's proof that your body still remembers how to heal. Section number 3 is sleep. And I cannot overstate how much this section matters. Depression disrupts every layer of our sleep. The timing, how deeply we can sleep, our circadian rhythms, what time we fall asleep, what time we wake up. For some people, they get insomnia. You can't fall asleep or you can't stay asleep. For others, it's oversleeping. It's long hours in bed without ever feeling rested. But sleep isn't optional downtime. It's an active healing system. Your brain is using sleep to repair neurons, clean out toxins, and reset emotional balance. And that's why poor sleep keeps depression locked into place. So we start with one anchor. Step number 1 here is to get sunlight first thing in the morning, if at all possible. Whenever you wake up, have the first thing that you do, get some sunshine on your face. That will help reset your circadian rhythm and help you to feel sleepy when it's time to go to bed at night. Step number 2 is to anchor your bedtime. Most physicians recommend anchoring your wake-up time in the morning, but I actually think it's much more important for people who are struggling with depression to go to bed at the same time every night rather than getting up at the same time every morning. You can Vary your wake up times within an hour or two without too much trouble disrupting your sleep cycle, but making sure that you have a steady sleep routine where you are getting ready for bed and going to bed at the same time every night will make a huge difference for you mentally. And step number 3 is removing things that sabotage our sleep, such as caffeine after noon and any alcohol before bed. This helps your brain to slow down and recognize when it's time to go to sleep. If you have really loud snoring, waking up with headaches in the morning, restless legs, or really struggling with racing thoughts that's stopping you from going to sleep, those are not quirks. They are medical red flags. So please see a medical provider and get treated and get a diagnosis if you need one. And let's move on to section 4. Section 4 is what I like to call gentle brain movements or physical therapy for your brain, which is mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness isn't a trend, it's brain retraining. It is physical therapy for your brain. It is going to the gym for your brain, and we need it so badly. This is one of the things I love to talk about the most because it is so incredibly important and we don't use it as much as we should. Depression and anxiety both shrink down your ability to focus. Your mind will jump between worries and regrets and to-do lists until your nervous system cannot tell the difference between safety and threat. Meditation is how we rebuild that capacity for calm. You are not trying to clear your mind or not think about anything. You are teaching your body and your brain to stay in one place and focus on one thing at a time again. We start step number 1 with a 2-minute breath. You inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 6. Just do this for a few minutes. You can either name the thoughts that you're having as they go through your mind. You can try to focus on your breath and just focus on the feeling of the physical sensation of breathing. You can try to focus on the sounds that are happening around you or a specific feeling or emotion that you want to carry. It doesn't matter. The point is just to focus on only one thing for just 2 minutes. And then when your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, just notice and return to whatever your focus point was. Then step number 2 is a 5-minute guided meditation. There are many places all over the internet and many free apps where you can get guided meditations, and I highly recommend finding one that works for you. It's much easier to start with meditation if you let someone else's voice anchor you and you can focus on only listening to them instead of listening to them and thinking about other things at the same time. The point, again, is just to retrain your mind how to focus on only one thing at a time and trying to focus on what's going on in the present moment instead of worrying about the future or the past. And then the 3rd step on this ladder is to try a walking meditation where you go outside, you feel the steps that you're taking, you feel your breath, you feel the air on your skin, and you listen to the world around you, and you focus on being present in the moment. Stillness is not idleness. It's physically rewiring your brain. It is, in fact, one of the only ways that we have to rewire our brains into healthier thought patterns and processes. I don't have a single medication that can do that for you. What you are doing is proving to your body that peace is still possible. Section number 5 is relationships and the people in our lives. That people are medicine. Relationships are incredibly healing, but so is solitude. Sometimes we need one or the other, and some relationships can be toxic and draining. When you're healing, your nervous system actually becomes porous, meaning it's something that can soak up whatever's in the environment around it. Every relationship interaction affects your brain chemistry. Supportive people lift your serotonin, and draining ones can deplete it. In today's world of the constant notifications and toxic news, most of us are running on other people's emotions 24/7. That's why boundaries are not optional. They are essential to our survival. So, step number 1 in this ladder system is an energy audit. You're going to write down all of the people that you interact with and the things that you do during the day. And then you're going to notice what leaves you empty versus who leaves you feeling full and calmer and more loved. And then you are going to give yourself permission for guilt-free rest. You're going to cancel your plans, log off from your computer or your phone, and say no when you need to. We practice small, kind no's that make room for healing yeses with the people and the activities that help you to feel better. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It is the oxygen mask for recovery. You cannot heal in a system that keeps draining you. And our culture and our society today is a system that's built to drain you. Section number 6 is our hobbies. It's resetting our capacity for joy. Depression will tell you that joy doesn't matter. Oftentimes, we're told that we just need to be productive or we need to be successful, and that whether or not we actually enjoy it or feel satisfied or fulfilled by the things that we do shouldn't matter to us. But it is actually incredibly important. Our sense of purpose comes from feeling joy and satisfaction in the things that we do. Joy is medicine, especially for our dopamine. So here's the neuroscience. Depression blunts what we call anticipatory dopamine, which is our dopamine rush that we get when we think about doing something or starting a task. But the dopamine from participating or actually doing the task still remains the same, even if you are struggling with depression. So something can be really difficult to start. You don't want to do it, but then once you start doing it, you do still feel better. You still enjoy it because that dopamine is still present. So oftentimes, and I know I've struggled with this in my own life, I don't want to begin a task, but once I do, I still really enjoy doing it. So start small. Ask yourself, what used to make me feel 2% lighter? Ask yourself, what did I used to enjoy doing as a child? What are the things that I used to do before life got crazy and everything got really hectic and I got really anxious about everything, whatever it was? So step number 1 is to watch other people on YouTube doing those tasks. If you are feeling so incredibly exhausted that you can't get out of bed and you can't get up off the couch and you are just trying to get through your day, it is okay to get a dopamine out of watching other people complete those activities, whether it's painting or pottery, knitting or crochet, or completely redoing an entire room of their house. We get some dopamine out of watching other people do slow living activities. And I'm perfectly fine with that. That is a-okay. Step number 2 in this system is to find micro hobbies for yourself. So 5 minutes of puzzling, drawing, cooking, whatever it is that you like to do, set a timer, do it for those 5 or 10 minutes, call it physical therapy for your depression, and don't worry about completing it. Step number 3 is letting go of completionism. It doesn't matter if you finish the task or the project. The point is to do the slow dopamine task, because that is also rewiring neurons in your brain and helping to release dopamine in far more stable patterns than simply doom scrolling through social media. So remember that play is not childish. It is actually rehab for your brain. Our last section is work and finding purpose in our lives, because helplessness fuels depression and meaning rebuilds our dopamine systems. Our society confuses purpose with success. It tells you to measure your worth by productivity, titles, or your income, and that is toxic to a healing brain. Purpose is not what you do for someone else's approval. Purpose is what you do in your life that means something to you. Start with another audit. This time, we're going to audit your work energy. Which parts of your day, which tasks that you have to complete drain you versus which tasks restore you? What makes you feel better about the work that you do? And then you're going to name small wins. Purpose oftentimes hides in things like making someone smile or helping someone through the day. And those are things that can be done across any career. So we look for things that build meaning deeper than just the basic job description that you have for your work. And finally, you build micro-purpose. So you do one act each day that matters to you. It does not have to be big. It does not have to be grand. It just has to be true to your heart and your values. Healing begins when you decide, you learn, you figure out, here's what my values are, here's what matters to me, and then you start living by those values instead of by the expectations of others. So that is the first 3 steps to the 7 ladder system in the 7 healing domains of our lives. We've got nourishment, movement, sleep, mindfulness meditation, relationships, joy in our hobbies, and purpose in our work. Together, they form the foundation of my Healing Depression course, where I walk you through every step of that ladder in detail with printable tools and real-life frameworks, including prompts that you can plug into the AI to help you figure out how to practically apply this to your daily life. It's 46 videos, over 6 hours of step-by-step guidance with printable tools, real-life frameworks, AI prompts. And I do mean this literally. This course can save your life. Because when you understand what is happening in your brain, you can stop blaming yourself, you can stop doing the things that are hurting yourself, and you can start healing yourself. Depression isn't weakness. It's your body sounding the alarm that the way you're currently living isn't sustainable. But that alarm is not the end. It's the beginning. Because once you start supporting your body instead of fighting it, your brain will begin to heal itself. Our bodies are constantly working to heal us. So feed your body, move your body, rest, stay calm, protect yourself, protect your energy, and let your inner child out to play. Give yourself some purpose. Every gentle step you take is proof that healing is possible. If you are ready for the full roadmap with all 7 steps for each of the 7 sections of life, plus many more videos on other things that could be going on in your life, managing your dopamine, managing your emotions, as well as going over herbs, supplements, and medications, it's all available in my video course, and I've got the link in the description below. It's your blueprint for creating a life and a culture that supports your brain instead of breaking it down. And if you haven't already, watch my last video, Healing Depression Through Your Emotions. It pairs perfectly with this one. And together, they will help you rebuild both the emotional and the physical sides of healing. Because healing depression isn't about perfection. It's about choosing to rebuild one gentle step at a time.